Good afternoon and welcome everybody. Welcome to this Big Progress seminar dedicated to the theme of gut health. Or maybe we should say a touch of magic. I'm very happy to be able to host this seminar here at VIV Asia 2025, and I'm happy to see that many people have shown up. A few words about myself. My name is Vincent de Beek. I'm editor of Big Progress, and I shall be your host for the next 75 minutes, roughly. We have three expert speakers for you. We will start off with Assistant Professor Professor Dr. Alongkot Bongsong Neun of Kasetsart University here in Thailand. Then we have Joko Noguchi of IFF, and last but not least, Dr. Rutger Janssen of Boehringer Ingelheim Animal Health. Every time I am at VIV Asia, the theme of gut health continues to attract attention, and that is for a reason, because there is a little bit of magic involved. After all, if animals are healthy inside, they can thrive. And for years, antibiotics helped pig producers on their way to keep animals healthy. Yet the times are changing. And antimicrobials have worked like magic to keep animals healthy, but their usage is being discouraged more and more. So the challenge is we need new wizards to teach us other types of tricks. And we hope to let you go with a lot of inspiration and ideas. Every presentation will last for 18-20 minutes roughly, and after each presentation there will be time for question and answer. And when everything is over, we will do a few wise words as a wrap-up. And I'm very pleased now to introduce the first speaker, a very eminent speaker to you, and that is Assistant Professor Dr. Alongkot Bongsong Neun, attached to Kasetsart University here in Thailand. He is a lecturer at the Department of Farm Resources and Production Medicine at the university's Faculty of Veterinary Medicine. And today, he will speak about how to modify gut health in pigs in order to reduce antibiotics use in Thailand. Give him a warm round of applause.
Okay. Thank you for your kind introduction, Vincent. And good afternoon, everybody. So today, firstly, I would like to thank Big Progress for inviting me to be here as the speaker and sharing with you on the topic is, My topic today is how to manipulate gut health in pigs to reduce antibiotic use on Thai pig farm. I start with this slide because I would like to share with you about gut health is very, very important and very, very trendy in global right now. As the conference in the United States in 2023, this is the summary of the topic that speaker presented in the seminar. You can see gut health and production topic are the most important, the most interested in the seminar. Not only for the gut health and productivity, but also the correlated topic related to gut health, how to improve gut health. For example, enzymes or feed additives. Moreover, in global, gut health and growth performance is very, very hot issue. So, right now, in Thailand, since 2017, Thai government by DLD, we have launched, Thai government launched the several regulations related to antibiotic use in our country on swine farms. So, including many topics. For example, colistin is used for treatment only under veterinary authorization. And prohibition of some antibiotics used in feed meals. Moreover, implementation of the SOP and for rational drug used to control antimicrobial resistance or AMR in Thailand. Definitely, why gut health is very, very important, because related to the Thai government announced, Thai pig farmer has changed a lot on management to reduce antibiotic use to comply with the Thai policy. So I think gut health is very important, and we have to maintain or manipulate the gut health in our pigs in the farm to get the benefit from the pigs, to have the high performance and low pig cost, pig production. Not only for the pigs, but also in our body, our gut. We have to trust our gut, our piglet's gut, to manipulate and to reduce the cost and high performance in our farm. Some researcher, they said about gut eat the second brain. Gut eat the second brain. It means that the gut and brain has related together. For example, last week I got some diarrhea. So at that time, I very painful on my stomach and my intestine. At that time, I felt very, very bad. My brain is not sharpened because due to the gut inflammation. So I think many people in this room maybe suffer from like me at last week. That's why the gut is very important and control many systems in our body and the pig body. Okay. This slide shows the healthy and unhealthy gut. In this picture, as you can see, the normal condition in the gut system, they consist of many defense mechanisms to protect themselves from many substances or disease. On the other hand, in this slide, this symbiosis or unhealthy gut. You can see some cells in the unhealthy gut was suffer from many disease, many pathogens, and easy to get some disease and suffer from disease. Finally, the piglet that get infection, they show the low pig production and high cost of production. That's why we have to control gut and manipulate the gut health in our pig farm. Okay, how to manipulate, how to evaluate or detect gut health in our pig farm. So this slide shows many methods that we can evaluate gut health in our farm. The easy way to differentiate healthy and unhealthy gut, starting with fecal scoring. When we see the diarrhea pig, so we actually know that one, the pig is not good, unhealthy gut. Not only for the feces scoring, but at the previous time, we can necropsy the piglets. We can necropsy to find out the healthy and unhealthy gut by to find the gross lesion after we necropsy. And the second one is bacterial culture. This is the old method that we can use for many years ago. We actually identify healthy by culture and count the bacteria, the good bacteria, especially for lactobacillus and bifidobacterium. On the other hand, the pathogen bacteria we can count, for example, E. coli and Salmonella. But that is very large for identify, for differentiate healthy and unhealthy gut. Number 3, histopathology. Sometimes we can cut the small pieces of intestine to do the histopathology and look at the cells to find the histopathology lesion from the tissue. Sometimes we can measure the villi height and crypt depth and compare between healthy and unhealthy gut. Number 4, some researchers, they measure the tight junction function using real-time PCR to differentiate healthy and unhealthy. Number 6, gut microbiome. Right now, very crucial to study, and I think in publication right now when we talk to the gut health, every researcher has to do gut microbiome, and not expensive right now when compared to 10 years ago. Very, very expensive. But right now, I think too cheap because we have to have the information about the microbiota in the gut. However, in my idea, I think I would like a non-invasive method to identify gut health. Actually, I used some biomarkers to identify the gut health, including short-chain fatty acid, myeloperoxidase enzymes, fecal calprotectin, and intestinal alkaline phosphatase, or IAP. The last second enzymes, I had experience on them, and I will give you more detail in the next slide. Okay. Back to the microbiota study. As you can see in this slide, in 2014, the researcher concluded that they found that dynamic distribution of gut microbiome at different locations. As you can see in this slide, sorry. Okay. The location, different microbiota. First, in ileum, the main population is Firmicutes phylum. And then when you identify the microbiome in cecum, you can see the red one, Bacteroides, is the main population of microbiota in terms of phylum. But in feces, you can see Firmicutes turn back to the dominant microbiota again in the feces. This is tell us that we cannot compare between the different locations. We cannot compare microbiome different locations. Moreover, in 2022, they summarized from 63 published papers from the America. And they found that the blue dot is mean during the suckling piglets, during the suckling on the lactation period. They found E. coli, Clostridium, Fusobacterium, Lactobacillus, and Bacteroides are the most are the dominant microbiota in suckling piglet. After that, after weaning, you can see this one, Pivotella, is going high, turn to the dominant microbiota after weaning. Moreover, in this publication, they suggested that the weaning pig should have 3 main biobiota, including Pivotella, Bacteroides, and Lactobacillus. Moreover, you can see Pivotella is the dominant microbiome after weaning until fattening period. Especially for Pivotella is the bacteria can produce short-chain fatty acid that turn to the energy for enterocyte cells. That's why when the pig has a lot of Pivotella population, they can show a good performance in terms of production. Okay. Related to our study in Kasetsart University, my master degree student, she tried and compared between 2 groups. First group is diarrhea. D stands for diarrhea, and N stands for non-diarrhea pigs. The weaning pigs show diarrhea and non-diarrhea, and then we collect the sample and compare in terms of microbiota. As you can see, the phylum level, you can see just only two shades, yellow one and blue one. The blue one is Firmicutes, and the yellow one is Bacteroides, Bacteroidata. Moreover, in our study, we found that the normal pigs had higher Bacteroidata than the diarrhea piglets after weaning. However, in the class level, on the other hand, in the class level, you can see the diarrhea pigs show the dominant class of Clostridium higher than in normal piglets. Not only for microbiota study, in this case, in this study, we measure IALP, intestinal alkaline phosphatase enzymes in the feces. And you can see the red line represent the level of IALP in diarrhea piglets. The green one is level of IALP in the normal pig, non-diarrhea. In summary, non-diarrhea pig had significant higher IALP in the feces when compared to the diarrhea group. Okay. The last part of my talk for today, I focus on the crucial management in our country and how to manipulate feed intake for sucking pig and nursery pigs. And I will share with you some success story in our farm. So these are the factors that affects on gut health in my idea, including biosecurity, because we would like to control the disease, the crucial disease, especially ASF in our country, PRRS and PCV2. Not only for 3 diseases, but also when we have good biosecurity on farm, you can reduce all pathogen, and get good gut health for our pig in the farm. The second one, housing facility. As we know, Thailand is very hot. If you believe me, please come here again next 2 months. Very, very hot, over 40 degrees Celsius, I promise. Okay, and we need the good facility, housing facility, to reduce the heat stress for the pig and provide the temperature for the comfort zone, close to the comfort zone that the pig would like. Number 3, water and feed, quality and safety. We would like to minimize mycotoxin contamination and E. coli contamination on farm. And 4, feeding technique for maximum feed intake, especially for the 2 phases of pig production, suckling and nursery pigs, and I will show you. The last one, right now, we have a lot of feed additives. I go up into the booth, very, very a lot of company that they launch the product feed additive for the pigs. So we can try and test and find out the good feed additive that match for our pig farm, our material in the diets. Okay, as we know, creep feed intake is very important. It's necessary to promote gut health for the weaned piglets. So you can see this one, the first graph. At the beginning, the day-old pigs from 3, 4, 5 days old. You can see the first week, the piglet can consume a little of creep feed. But at the end of lactation, the feed intake is very high in the late term of lactation period for creep feed consumption. But in my opinion, especially in Thailand, the farm worker, they actually feed overconsumption for the piglets. That's why we can see some farms show the critical sign of diarrhea during the lactation period. So I would like to train my farm worker. I don't need to train the piglets because the piglet, they consume from the requirement. But the worker, the problem is worker, you know. So I set the protocol to training the worker from day 7 to day 13. Some farm we start to feed the piglet at 5 days old. But in this farm, we start at 7 to 13. I recommend for 5 grams per pig per day. Total 7 days, the pig should be consumed 35 grams per pig. For the second step, I recommend for 10 grams per pig per day. Total in this phase, 50 grams per pig. And the last phase, recommend 20 grams per pig per day. The total creep feed is 140 grams per day. Totally, the pigs during the lactation period should consume at least 225 grams per day. Sorry, on total, accumulate creep feed. And after that, we following the technique to manipulate, to develop the gut health during the nursery period. As you see, this is the small mixing for mix the liquid feeding. And after that, we feed the piglets during the nursery period. And you can see we very avoid about the feed loss to protect FCR. In this machine, the farmer in Chonburi province, he very clever because he modify the small mixing from the concrete or from the cement mixing, and they changed for liquid feed, and they adapt something in the machine. Moreover, we recommend to mix the dry feed with the water in the ratio of 1:3, and we add some feed additives inside the liquid feed. Here is the production performance. Actually, this farm raised the pig from 4 weeks until 9 weeks old, or 7 kilogram to on average 25.5 kilogram. But this is the top performance in this farm. You can see ADG 556 gram per day for 9 weeks old. I think it's very, very good performance. And feed intake 0.8 kilogram per day. AFCR 1.37. Okay. Finally, I'm focusing on 4 things to manipulate gut health, to reduce antibiotic use in our pig farm, especially in the piglets. I start with good management for the pig farmers. And the second one, we have to set up the program to control disease, especially for biosecurity, is very important one. When you manage both of them, I think it's very easy to get good gut health. Very easy to manipulate good gut health. And the last one, we can choose some feed additives to promote gut health in the piglets. For example, I actually used enzymes, probiotic, postbiotic, or some off-feed additive that we have to check before we select for the farmer due to the feed component in each farm. Okay, thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much for your excellent presentation. Nicely on time and very well presented. I like it. Are there any questions in the audience? Oh, there is one. Here we go.
With the microbiome studies of the piglets that you did with diarrhea, were those treated with antibiotics or not?
No, don't treat antibiotic.
Okay, thank you.
That was an easy one. Anybody else? I do have a question. You mentioned the Thai government has tried to reduce cholesterol, prohibition of antibiotics in feed mills, and also implementation of SOPs. How is that going on in practice? Do you see that indeed the levels of antibiotics are strongly reduced in Thailand?
In summary picture from our country, we reduce antibiotic use in our country. But some farms, they cannot stop to use antibiotic due to the disease control. But many farms in Thailand, we can stop and reduce antibiotic use, especially in the fattening, the late term of fattening pigs. We normally stop to use antibiotic every farm, at least for 3 weeks.
That is impressive, these results. You showed the liquid feeding technology. How does it help pigs to actually achieve a better gut health?
Due to the feed intake and water intake, I think water intake is very important in the early weaning pigs, because the first 5 days, as you know, the first 5 days, the piglets after weaning, they suffer from the water. They need a high volume of water. They suffer from dehydration. So when we apply the liquid feed for them, we can recover the piglet from dehydrated situation. And very easy to get the gut health for the weaning piglets.
And in general, could you sum up what are the biggest challenges affecting gut health in Thailand? for pigs?
I think the biggest challenge in our country may be from the disease, especially mycotoxin contamination is the very big issue in our country. So many farms, they have to protect, they have to reduce the mycotoxin contamination, especially the practice in pig farm. Firstly, they check mycotoxin contamination in the raw material every batch, and they add some mycotoxin binder into the feed to minimize the effect of mycotoxin contamination. Mm-hmm. And the second one, I think, is maybe PRRS or some disease depend on farm status.
ขอบคุณครับ Thank you very much
ขอบ
for
คุณ
your
ครับ
kind
สวัสดี
answers.
ครับ
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to continue now with the second speaker, and I'm pleased to welcome Yoko Noguchi on the stage now. She's Technical Service Manager North Asia at IFF, and her presentation is called Boosting Piglet Gut Health. And essential in her presentation will be the role of probiotics and how they help maintain a balanced microbiota. Yoko, the floor is yours.
Hello, I'm Yoko from IFF Danisco, and appreciate your kind introduction. And for my slot, I would like to go for the piglet gut health from the farm side. So young piglets are fragile and face several challenges at the weaning. And due to the forced change in their diet, their feed intake can be decreased. Since their digestive organs are not matured and developed yet, the piglets have poor nutrient digestibility. And this poor digestibility allows harmful bacteria to thrive, and leading to suboptimal gut health. And these issues often result in the post-weaning diarrhea and contribute to the poor performance. Why is the piglet gut health so poor at the weaning? So there are several reasons. And firstly, the piglet's digestive tract is not matured yet, and which means the gut microbiota is unstable. And secondly, the piglets are exposed to stress when they're separated from sow. So both the diet change and the separation from the sow, the environmental transition can be stressful to them. Thirdly, the piglet's immune system are not yet mature, so they are delicate and susceptible to the pathogens and diseases. So additionally, the ban of the use of AGP, antibiotic growth promoter, contributes to the challenges that piglets face. So many countries have prohibited the use of AGP in terms of livestock growth promotion, just mentioned as in Thailand case. And therefore, finding the alternatives to AGP is essential. There are growing interest to these alternatives to maintain the swine health and performance. So as a solution to mitigate these challenges, UNESCO offers a concept called nutribiosis. Nutribiosis is describing the interaction between nutrition, microbiome, gut immune function. These three pillars are not independent, but interactive with each other. When a favorable nutribiotic state is built on good digestibility, which allows the better nutrient absorption, the proper digestion happens, and that helps grow more beneficial bacteria than harmful ones. And a more diverse microbiome of beneficial bacteria also supports good immune development, reducing unnecessary immune response, which is costly in terms of energy. Animals that maintain a favorable cycle of this nutribiosis can enjoy more energy for growth. Then when the nutribiosis state is unfavorable, what happens? The poor digestibility allows harmful bacteria to grow with the remaining nutrients in the hindgut. So these bacteria harm the animal, and the immune response to combat with this invasion is energy intensive. So consequently, less energy and nutrients are available for animal and leading to the poor performance. So piglets struggle to manage the challenges at weaning, often end up with the compromised performance, and the leading to that is caused by the compromised gut structure. And conversely, well-constructed gut health positively impacts the performance over time, all through the grower and finisher stages. Therefore, maintaining gut health in good health post-weaning when the intestinal tract is still under the development is crucial. So for maintaining optimal gut health, there are multiple solutions available in the market. So including, for example, probiotics, phytogenics, prebiotics, enzymes, organic acid, and fatty acid. So for today, I would like to introduce Enviva Pro. It's the probiotics with scientific, solid background and well-reviewed efficacy in swine. Enviva Pro is a probiotics, the blend of 3 bacillus strains. Enviva Pro promotes a healthy gut health in swine, And superior suppressive coverage against diverse pathogens accelerated immune development and gut maturation, allowing energy to be focused on growth, enhancing performance, proven efficacy based on analysis over 400 farms. So this is a graph shows 6 beneficial bacteria, genus groups, in feces of piglets given a controlled diet on left side and the Enviva Pro diet on right side. When fed Enviva Pro, all of 6 groups of this beneficial bacteria showed increased relative abundance compared to the control group. So Enviva Pro supports a positive microbiota by increasing the abundance of beneficial bacteria. Here are the results for the average daily gain on left side and FCR on the right side. The piglets at the nursery stage, supplemented with Enviva Pro, had significantly higher daily gain by 2.5% and lower FCR by 2.5%. Overall feed intake with Enviva Pro was lower than the control group by 3.0%. The overall feed cost was 1.6% less in Enviva Pro, while they achieving a higher final body weight than control. Livability. The livability was numerically higher in the Enviva Pro fed group. If this increment is applied to the farm with 1,000 piglets, it can be calculated at saving additional 6 piglets. This slide shows the cost efficiency of Enviva Pro if a farm was given 6 additional piglets with a 2.5% better average daily gain and FCR, and saves 1.6% on feed cost, with Enviva Pro costing $4.5 per kilo. And the ROI is calculated as 5.35. So therefore, optimizing the health of weaned piglets with Enviva Pro contributes for the farm management. So we say 3 Pro is achievable by Enviva Pro. Enviva Pro can protect, improve, and promote swine gut health. That's all for my side. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Yoko. A very good presentation. Audience, help me. Are there any questions? If not, I have one, just out of interest. When is it added to the feed? In what process? Is it in the feed mill prior to pelleting?
Sorry, feed mill?
The Enviva Pro.
Yeah.
When do you add it through the feed? Is that in a feed mill prior to pelleting?
Yeah, so Bacillus is spore-making bacteria. So the heat, they have the heat stability. So you can use either mash or the pellet feed.
Yeah, and it will kind of go through that process. Okay, that is excellent. How do probiotics collaborate with other solutions like essential oils or enzymes, for instance?
Yes. If the mode of action of the functional additive is different, they can work collaborative. For example, the essential oil works directly to the harmful bacteria. So in this case, they can do the collaborative work. And also enzyme helps to feed the beneficial bacteria to grow. So in that sense, there is a collaborative work also.
I see, I see. And we've seen that if there is a lot of pathogenic bacteria in a piglet's gut, it has an effect. What does it mean for an animal to have a lot of positive bacteria all of a sudden for an animal? Will that have any effects as well?
Sorry.
Well, if an animal gets a lot of beneficial bacteria all of a sudden added, what effect does that have on a piglet?
Thank you. So usually the beneficial bacteria, as the doctor mentioned, they can produce the fatty acid.
Mm-hmm.
So it is the third energy solution for animal. So that can contribute for the animal to acquire another energy from the diet digestion.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Any questions from the audience? No. Thank you
so
very much. You've done fantastically. Thank you very much. Don't go away. We have one more speaker. And that is Dr. Rutger Janssen. And he is Senior Technical Service Manager at Boehringer Ingelheim Animal Health. And his presentation will focus on gel vaccination. And they call it the future of vaccination. It's oral vaccination by using a gel. Dr. Janssen, good luck.
Thanks, Vincent, for the kind introduction. And thanks and Sawadee Krap to Thailand. And hello for the people at home. And thanks for joining online. So, gel vaccination. We already talked about on gut health, and also one of the things we as a pharmaceutical company that we produce vaccines, and with the application of a gel, we have a new innovative way for mass immunizations of pigs against ileitis. First, a little bit on ileitis. It's caused by Lawsonia intracellularis, which is an intercellular pathogenic bacteria. And basically, the infectious route is by the oral fecal route. You can see a healthy gut. It only has a simple lining of epithelium. The mitosis is in here. There are some mucus cells, which give a protective mucus layer on the enterocytes. And after ingestion of Lawsonia, it enters those crypt cells. But at that stage, there still is not a disease visible yet. It takes time, and it takes changes of the architecture of the intestinal lining. So we get this proliferation of cells, as we call it. For instance, this is about 10 days post-infection that you can see cell proliferation. And when you come to about 2 to 3 weeks post-infection, and that's where you can see massive changes when compared to the picture above. You can truly see a big architecture change of the enterocytes, and also enzyme production of those enterocytes, the maturation of the enterocytes, which normally mature when they move up. This is all disturbed, and at the end it leads to problems with feed conversion ratio, the feed digestion, and of course, as a diarrhea could be one of the consequences. But we also know that a lot of the disease is subclinical, that we don't see diarrhea, but it's also a very ubiquitous disease. Most of the farms worldwide have this pathogen, but basically it's eating up your profitability. Feed conversion ratio is increased, average daily gain is decreased. For BI, we already have 20 years a solution to tackle this problem. And this is with our vaccine, enterocolitis ileitis. And from the beginning of the launch of this vaccine, so it's an oral live vaccine, that the vaccine was applied either by drenching, but already fast after launch of the vaccine. I think the majority of the vaccine worldwide is applied by the drinking water system, that we can administer the vaccine by the drinking water, and that the pigs voluntarily take up in this way the vaccination. Later on, we saw an example today on liquid feeding. We also have a liquid feed claim that we had in 2016 in Europe, with automated liquid feeding systems, that farmers can also mix in the vaccine into the liquid feed, pour it out with the feeding computer to the pigs in the trough, and that the pigs get with the feed, get exposed to the vaccine. There's only one thing with the vaccine. It's a live vaccine, it's a bacterium vaccine, so we should keep the vaccine alive. And sometimes this can give some problems with finding an antibiotic-free window, for instance, post-weaning, when a lot of antibiotics are used to control other diseases, and that we then need to go a little bit earlier when the pigs were still with the mother. And in the past, this was done with drenching, but to be honest, nobody likes drenching. So nowadays, we have, together with our BI team from the US, we found a new innovative way, and that we now apply in the farrowing crates the vaccines dissolved in a gel, and that's what we call then gel vaccination. And it's a novel way of mass vaccinations when the pigs are still drinking milk with the sow before weaning. Basically, it's a labor-saving, stress-free way of mass immunization of pigs. So basically, it's quite a simple process. Either we have enterosal ileitis, but also our Salmonella vaccine, Salmonella TC, that we can mix with the gel, and the gel is then administered to the piglets in the farrowing crates. 3 basic steps. First, prepare the gel. We use a powder form of the gel that can be easily reconstituted with water to a homogeneous gel. Then we add the vaccine, and next step is to vaccinate the animals. And the gel that we recommend is a United States product from Animal Science Products. They call it underline gel, which is just the sachet powder, which is available globally. And basically, it's a good powder that we can homogeneously mix. And we use, I like to use a power drill with a paint stirring blade to mix the gel quite fast and homogeneously, so it does not clot. The next step is that we add the reconstituted vaccine to the mix, and once the mix is ready, we can put it in a dosing tank. With the dosing tank, it comes with a leverage on the side, and we can adapt the volume by stroke, and we apply then 12 milliliter of gel per piglet when present in the farrowing crates. So in general, we have the basic concept. For instance, when you have 12 pigs per sow, that we apply 120 milliliter of gel, and we either can use these dosing tanks, but you can also use measuring cups to provide the gel. And afterwards, the materials can be easily cleaned with water. Give you 2 video impressions just to show how it works in the barn. And you can imagine when you look at this and you compare this with drenching, that this is a very fast and convenient way. And the pigs, when you see how they interact with the gel, they just love it. They really go fast to the gel. It has some sensory additives that the pigs really like. It has also a green dye, so the operator can also quite easily see where it is applied. And in cases, for instance, when there are only fully slatted floors, we can also use nowadays cardboard sheets that we apply the gel on the cardboard, and the pigs consume then the gel together with the cardboard, and to get, in this way, very easy exposed to the vaccine. You can see also he's making the strokes, and basically also the amount of work that's involved in this way to vaccinate about 600 of pigs in this way, it requires about 3 minutes of labor. And this fits also with labor challenges around vaccination. They can have a very fast and convenient way of mass vaccination of pigs. We did some trials. This is one of the trials that it started with a few years ago. It's done with the Pipestone team from Joel Niram, together with Fernando Leite, our technical mentor in the USA. And it did a comparison study, first with non-vaccinated, challenged animals, and these were compared with either vaccination by the gel in the farrowing crates or a group which were vaccinated by the water 2 weeks post-weaning. Another group was also added with Salmonella TC to check if the combination would still lead to protection against ileitis when both vaccines, the Salmonella and the Lawsonia intracellularis vaccine, were combined in the same gel exposure. From this trial, we looked at the differences and also between the treatments if we saw differences, and the data is also published on the IPVS last year. But basically, when we look at the gel treatment and we look at the water treatment, and if we focus on the average daily gain, there's some numerical differences with a little bit higher growth in the gel group, but these were insignificant. But both groups, both the gel and the water, performed more or less the best, but both were significant higher in average daily gain when you compare to the challenge group. So both of the groups, all the 3 groups were challenged with a cedar pig model. Cedar pig models, we just infect orally, artificially 1 pig. That pig is placed into the pen of the pigs from the trial, and in this way they get very natural exposed by the cedar pig, which acts as the natural vehicle to lead to the challenge infection of all those groups. So basically on the backpack, 120 ml of vaccine solution. It's a commercial backpack doser that we use. It's made in Europe, but it's available globally as well. And also with one trial in the US recently that they also checked for the timing. So close to 600 piglets, vaccination a little bit more than 3 minutes, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. If you compare this with individual vaccination of animals, for instance, doing by the drench, this is a massive saving of time and also very easy for the people who do the farm work to have a very convenient way. So it's stress-free for the pigs, but also stress-free for the farm workers on our sites. We have about also with enterosol ileitis itself, about 20 years experience now with the product. We did an analysis of 38 studies under field conditions. So real challenge studies are excluded in this analysis. This is due to the fact when you do most of the challenge studies that you follow the pigs for 4 or 5 weeks post-infection, then they're necropsied. But we just wanted to know more or less what does the product mean on the field conditions, what can you expect from vaccination under field conditions. And in this analysis of 38 studies, we saw a significant increase on the field conditions with the use of enterosol ileitis, 37 gram increase of average daily gain, a feed conversion reduction with 0.08 units, and a mortality reduction close to 0.8%. And for instance, with the feed conversion ratio, the reduction of 0.08 units, it equals about a feed saving of 7, 8, 9 kilo, a bit depending on the slaughter weight. But there's a lot of feed that you can save, and this feed saving already economically justifies your vaccine investment. These are based on European prices, so it's about a €4, a little bit more of return that you can get by this. But it also, for instance, in Thailand, pig prices are higher, and then also the value of average daily gain will get higher as well. So at least for monitoring and justifying the investment of vaccination, we recommend check at your own farm circumstances, how is the vaccine increasing the production results, and check based on your specific market information whether if you can justify the vaccination, yes or no. So in summary, I think gel is a delivery vehicle for the vaccine, which is a very easy, convenient way, stress-free for pigs, stress-free for the farmers. We had studies indicating that gel vaccination is equal to water vaccination, and it's also a very convenient and stress-free way of application of the vaccine. And with this, I come to the end of my presentation. So, kop en krop. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. An excellent presentation again. Are there any questions from the audience? Yep.
Is your vaccine available for sows or gilts?
Yeah, so it's licensed. The license is specifically for finishing pigs, but we know it's a very safe vaccine, and we also, with 20 years of experience, we have also experience with vaccination of sows. Even gestation sows, we have also field experiences for using in breeding boars. It's a very safe vaccine leading to no side effects at all, and it's very safe to also to use in sows, and it could in this way also fit in the whole herd approach to lower Lawsonia excretion, to control ileitis in the herd, but the majority of the infections is active ongoing, mainly in finishing pigs, I think also some in breeding gilts. From time to time, but I consider those quite rare, but from time to time there are some outbreaks in sow herds as well. And in those circumstances, we know if you apply it with, for instance, gestating sows, it's very safe. You don't see abortion effects, for instance, of the application of the vaccines. Basically, there are no side effects at all, nothing.
You use the sterile vaccine. I'm just wondering about how to make sure that all piglets can get the vaccine.
Yeah, good question. It's at the end, so I go back now to our first trials 20 years ago for the licensing, and most of the work has been done in studies in Europe, that we also compared drenching versus the drinking water, because you have the same question also with drink water intake. How's the vaccine distributed with the water intake? And in the trials, and this goes back to trials with several thousands of animals involved, that we had both vaccinated with either with the drinking water or with the gel on exactly the same age, and looking at the herd parameters and the average daily gain of all those animals evaluated, that we saw the same performance of those animals when used with vaccination as with used with, vaccination with the drinking water when compared to the individual drenching of the animals. Now with the study from Pipestone I've shared, we saw now with a statistical relevant group of 540 animals, that also the gel vaccination is equal to drink water vaccination. So if you apply the gel correctly, but this is also with every form of vaccination, also with injections or whatever technique you would consider, if you follow the instructions and we give the guidance that we have seen now with this application of the gel, that we have equal protection to drinking water, and we know drinking water is equal to individual drenching, but we have also more studies ongoing at this moment to evaluate more and more. But what we've seen so far, we are quite confident you get a herd immunity level in this way with gel vaccination.
Thank you very much. Audience, any other question? I have a very stupid question, probably a very stupid one, but I want to ask
There are no
anyway.
stupid questions, Vincent. That's what they taught me.
Oh, well.
Only stupid answers. So
Watch
that's
this,
on me.
Watch this. Is it only ileitis vaccination that you can use and apply it this way? I mean, are there any other vaccines that could also be supplied to?
I think that this might be, of course, it depends also how future will go on with innovative new vaccines. But we, for instance, from the Boehringer Ingelheim portfolio, we also have Enterosol Salmonella TC. It's not available in Europe, but we do have it available here in Thailand and in America, South America. So this is a typhimurium, Salmonella typhimurium and Salmonella chlorosus combined live vaccine. And we also use the gel to be used with Salmonella TC, our product, Enterosol ileitis Salmonella, Enterosol Salmonella TC as well. And we know for both for Lawsonia intracellularis, as also for the Salmonella strains that we have in our vaccines, that we tested also the stability in the gel, because of course we should keep the vaccine alive, but it's also the gel itself is optimized with chloride neutralization, but also the pH is neutralized, especially Salmonella is quite sensitive for pH, Lawsonia not that much, but we also know with vaccine is stable and we can use it for Salmonella. Probably there might be other oral vaccines available, maybe now already or for the later future. But I think also with trends like labor shortage on farms, that this practices on mass vaccination will become more and more suitable for the future. It's a pleasure for pigs and a pleasure for the farm workers to work this way.
And what's the secret that the animals love it so much?
I think Jessica's seat sitting there from Animal Science Product might be an answer for you to answer. But I think the secret is the sensory, the additives, the molecules for the taste. I tasted it myself as well. It's just like Like in the old days, when I was young, you had the green lemonade from a grandmother. This little bit of taste is behind, and the pigs, they like it. If you apply it, they jump on it. It's really, yeah.
No, and you didn't have
You
any
should do it and see it. We make more videos to show it, yeah.
And you didn't have any lasagna problems there. That,
No, still not. Not as I know, at least.
that helped as well. Okay, well, thank you very much. If there is no other questions, I'd like to thank you. Now, that completed almost this afternoon's session on gut health. We've heard about Professor Dr. Alon Kot, who already explained about the importance of gut health, and that management plays a role, biosecurity plays a role, proper nutrition plays a role, all to keep an optimal gut health. And we listened to solutions in terms of probiotics to get a higher gut health, as well as oral vaccination through gel. In case you were interested to watch this webinar again or to recommend it to somebody else, you'll be happy to know that it's all been recorded. So you can find it back at www.pigprogress.net, or you can review it at our YouTube channel. Let me also use this moment to point you that we have another Pig Progress seminar tomorrow. That is at noon, 12 a.m. or 12 p.m., whatever you want, in the middle of the day. The theme then will be sustainability, and that will be in room Jupiter number 10, so just a few rooms away from here. And also tomorrow at 4 p.m, our sister title, Poultry World, will hold a seminar with the subject Optimizing Digestion in Poultry Production, and that will start at 4 p.m. as well, in Jupiter 8. I'd like to thank now our speakers, Professor Dr. Alon Kot Bungsonder, Jokon Noguchi, as well as Dr. Rutger Jansen, for their contributions. I'd like to thank you for being present, and I hope to see you all soon again. Thank you very much.